Hi everybody, welcome. Larry the Pen Bug Guy here, and welcome back to Larry's Fountain Pens. Well, today I'm going to share with everybody my pen carry, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the pen, the nib, and do a writing sample and share what ink I'm using. I've got some requests from people saying, Larry, what ink is that? Are you going to do a writing sample? And I said, yes, I am. And so I am means like right now. Are you ready? So I'm ready. If you're ready, hey, you may want to grab a chair, grab your favorite drink, whatever you want, popcorn, and spend some time with me doing this with you guys. Okay? Are we ready? I'm ready. Okay. Okay. 11 pens. I'm going to do 11 samples of some writing to show you how the pen writes with whatever nib may be in the pen and the ink. And the first one I'm using is the Pilot Vanishing Point with a fine nib. If you keep up with my videos, you know I mainly use just medium nibs. But lately, I've been having a little sweet tooth for a fine nib. Yeah. And I'm starting to bond with it. It only took me, what, 4 years? But I'm getting around to it. And the ink I'm using is?
Aristocracy.
Noodlers. So here we go with the Noodlers ink. All right, this is a fine nib. And it's not going to be very wet. It is a fine nib, and I'm using the Rhodia Dot paper. So this is a Noodlers. And fine nib, okay? And we're full for wetness. And it is pretty much a dry nib, but it is what it is. It does have some feedback in a good way. It's not scratchy, just some feedback. So that's what I'm trying to get used to. But this is how it writes, and this is the ink. Okay, that's number one. And I'm looking at my pen list with the ink, so bear with me, please. All right. And here is the top dog coming up. The TWSBI. All right. This is a wet fire hose nib, which I truly love. The VAC 700R with a broad nib. This baby is beautiful. Lazy dog. And a few little swirls here. And wetness, it is wet. Look at that. That's nice and wet. And the ink I'm using is Noodlers. L. Lawrence. All right. And let me get that bottle. Yeah. Nice color of Noodler's ink. Kind of reminds you of motor oil, right? Yeah. And check out this baby I want to talk about for a few seconds in a second here. This is a cool one right here. This is the Jinhao 51. And I just want to show you how I'm getting the nib. Well, it has fine nib on it, okay? So here's a line down. So to me, it's almost as wide as the broad. See that? Both are the same. Again, the TWSBI Broad and the Jinhao 51A almost as broad. So I would say this pen right between them, medium and broad, as you can see. Finish up the writing here real quick. All right. First I better do this, get this out of the way. And we'll do a few swirls. Now the wetness here. Look at that. Nice and wet. Now the ink. Noodlers. Navajo. Turquoise. Beautiful ink, is it not? Love the ink. I am in love with this Noodler's ink. First time I've ever used it. Okay, the next one up, number 4, is the Lamy. One of my favorites. I do love the Lamy pens. And this pen has an extra fine nib. And I do like the extra fine nib. I know it's weird, but I'm just starting to bond to this one as well. I don't know why, but it's just finally getting to me that I do like it on this pen so far. That doesn't mean I like every extra fine nib, because they can be too scratchy or really just dry and boring. But I do like this one. All right. So I'm going to do a little swirls here. And we're going to just check it for wetness. And it's not a wet nib, but it does have a little bit of wetness to it. It's a really decent nib. I like it. It does have a bit of feedback to the good. Lets you know that nib's on paper, so it's fine. Yeah. And the name of the ink is
Kiowa.
Another Noodlers. Kiowa Pecan. Really nice ink. I really do like it. Really, really nice ink. I just love the ink. I like how this nib lays down the ink. As we move along, here is the online fountain pen with a extra fine nib. Alright, this is number 5. With an extra fine nib. And a few swirls. Now, check for wetness. And it's not a wet nib, but it's not a dry nib. So, I'm starting to like this nib just as well. And it's extra fine. And the ink I'm using is Private Reserve and Tanzanite. There it is. Private Reserve Tanzanite. A nice ink. All right, my friends. Hope you're still hanging there with me. Here we go with another one. Excuse me. And I'll just go ahead and get the other side of that. Here's the Jinhao. And this is going to be number 6 on the list. Alright, here we go. Now this has a fine nib, but this is a Goulet fine nib. That I made a little bit more wetter, and it writes very nice smooth nib. Do a few little swirls here. You can see how wet that is. It lays down the ink just like I like it. All right. And the name of this ink is going to be Noodlers. Bay State, Concord, purple. Isn't that a beautiful ink? That's another beautiful ink that I need to get. And here comes an interesting pen. This is the number 7, the Italic Parsons. There we go. This has an italic nib. and I'm just looking at the nib. It's cut right across the nib at a slant, okay? So on these kind of nibs, you have to hold it at a certain angle because the corners will rip the paper if you're not careful. All right, here we go, but it writes really nice. Just lays down the ink. Very nice nib. Nice and wet. See, on this nib, you got to be careful. If you try to do it like that, it'll tear the paper. So, but it really writes nice. Once you get used to a nib like this, then you're not going to have a problem. I'm trying to adapt and learn how to use the nib correctly, and that's what I've been working on. And I've done a pretty good job of it. There you have it. And the ink I'm using in this one is Noodler's Bay State Blue. One of my favorite inks. And I do use Noodler's quite a bit. That was one of my first inks I bought back in 2015, and I've stayed with it. Now we're going to use the Conklin Duograph. I'm sorry, this is the Conklin All-American Sunburst Orange. Forgive me on that one. Beautiful ink, really some beautiful ink with a beautiful pen. Orange. And this is a medium nib. And we'll just do a few little S's here. And we'll just check for wetness. Nice wet nib. I do enjoy this nib. And the ink. Noodler's again. Summer Tanager. And this is Bird with a medium nib. And we'll do the writing next. and a few S's. And check for wetness here. Nice wet nib. Nice nib. Really nice. And that will take care of this pen. All right. Very good. Next one is the Monteverde Regatta. Here we go. With a medium nib. I'm going to just do some swirls there. And you do the wetness there, and look at that. Nice and wet. And the ink I'm using is Noodlers again. Widowmaker. Very, very nice ink. Yep. Yeah, Noodlers really has some really outstanding inks that I really enjoy using them with my pens. And we'll go on to the next page. And this is going to be number 10 on the list. We're almost done. I can get that fuzz out of there because it bugs me. All right. All right, here we go. This is the Conklin Duograph Orange Nights. With a medium nib. Few swirls and a little bit of wetness here. Wet. And the ink, it's Noodlers again. Apache. Sunset. Doing a little wetness. It's not a real wet nib, but then it's not a dry nib. It's a decent nib. Beautiful pen, and I'm going to have to work on that nib a little to make it a little bit wetter for me. And the last one on the list, number 11. Monteverde Impresa with a medium nib. I'm going to do a few swirls. Let's do the wet test now. Look at that. Nice, nice. And the ink I'm using is Noodler's. Dragon Napalm. Yay! Another really nice colors. Noodler's really has some really nice colors at a great affordable price. I enjoy using. So, I hope you enjoyed the video with all the cool different colors of inks. There were 10 Noodler's inks that I've used in this and 1 Private Reserve. These are just some of the few of my favorite inks. But I tell you what, that Noodler's Navajo Turquoise, beautiful. They're all really nice inks. They really are. With 2 extra fine nibs, the nib on the online was had a little more feedback to the good than the Lamy Safari did. But both were decent extra fine nibs. Would I buy any more? I would probably buy a Goulet and an Anderson extra fine nib, plus another fine nib of each, just to have on hand if I ever get that urge. But then I do want to check out the extra fine nibs that they carry. That's going to wrap this one up. I hope you hung with me all the way through. It's kind of lengthy, I know it, but I had a great time sharing my pens, my ink with you guys. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. I hope you got something out of it about the nibs, about the color of the ink, how it lays down. Because, you know, for me, it's all about not just what's under the hood, which is the nib, which is really, for me, the most important part of any fountain pen. I don't care how much it costs. If the fountain pen is icky, your pen is worthless until you get that nib fixed. That's how I look at it. But then, when you get the ink of your choice, the color that you want, that just pops, that kind of makes you feel kind of bubbly inside. It brings you on a kind of a cool feeling that you just enjoy writing, and you enjoy using your fountain pen, right? Depending on the pen. So, I've been asked, are those high-end pens like your $1,000 pens just as good as your $1.49 pen? Let's see, well, you're talking about 2 different pens when I'm asked that question. The $1,000 pen, you have more bells and whistles and you get your money's worth, and the material used in it compared to a $1.49 a plastic pen, okay, a steel nib. So there's a big major difference there. But they all have one thing in common. I want you to remember this. You got a $1,000 pen, you got a $1.49 pen. What they have in common is they both do the same thing. They write. They're fountain pens. It's whatever you can afford. Don't try to keep up with the Joneses. I've learned that a long time ago. do what you can and be proud of your pen. Hey, I love my Jinhao fountain pens. I don't have any problem using them. I love my lower end pens, and I use them a lot. In fact, I probably use them more than my high-end pens, and people ask me why. I guess because I got so many low-end pens that people want to see, I tend to forget the majority of my high-end pens. Or is it because my age and I just forget? What do you think, Mr. Announcer?
A little bit of both.
Oh, how scary that I'm old! Oh! I'm old on the outside, but I'm young on the inside. And the old brain just doesn't click like it used to. But anyway, hey, thanks for joining WA on Larry's Fountain Pen. And I hope you had a great time hanging out with me on Larry's Fountain Pen with the Pen Bug Guy. I will talk to you guys later. But remember, my friends, stay safe and don't text and drive. Peace, brothers and sisters. Rock it out. Ink up, baby.